different times. So I think my turnovers, yes, Phil, you're exactly right. My main thing that'd be who wins the game. Like I thought turnovers last week, whoever won that would win the game. Whoever has the better third down, and it's on aggregate, it's collective, it's offense and defense. Who can get off the field on third down? Who can keep the ball, keep the chains moving, keep their defense getting a little rest, so when they do come out there, they're able to play fast and opportunistic.
And by the way, the line continues to move towards A&M. It was -3 yesterday in BetSaras, and it's -4 now. So you remember when the line moved heavily towards Oklahoma State the day before that game, and Arkansas ended up covering it. Thought that there were some rumors that were involved in why bettors were going in that direction a little bit. This is a line that's gone from 2.5 for A&M to 4 now in favor of A&M. So kind of interesting with that. And I think the idea of House of Horrors and voodoo in a certain building, that's more for fans than players, isn't it, though, Matt? I mean, that's not the kind of thing that college players worry about too much, because you didn't have all that many. Nobody was with this team when the series started, or when A&M first joined the league, or even when Sam Pittman was coaching the offensive line against A&M when he was at Arkansas. But fans certainly remember all of that stuff. And as much as you might be a Cowboys fan and love walking into that stadium, if you get tickets to see the Cowboys against anybody, and yes, they do get the Giants tonight, it's got to be a little different when you walk into the stadium and maybe you've attended some other Southwest Classics and you remember just the feeling over and over of walking out, shaking your head and wondering how the heck did we lose that game? Or maybe in some cases, how did we keep it so close? Because there have been some games, Matt, where A&M has been the absolute, clearly more talented team, but yet they ended up winning in a game that felt like a fluke or by 3 points. This isn't one of them. I think these teams are much more evenly matched than they've been even in recent years in terms of talent. But I don't feel that way walking into the building, but I know a lot of our listening audience feels that way. House of Horrors, voodoo, and whatever. It's got to find a way to get over it. But that's not anything players worry about, right?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, you look at Notre Dame beat A&M in the first NIL. Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame. So we can definitely win this game. The thing that scares me or worries me, Phil, we go and play Oklahoma State. It's a knockdown, drag out, tough game, hot game. We left it all out there on the field, and we had guys cramping up at the end of the game and couldn't really finish, and we ended up taking an L. The next week when we showed up to UAB, we were still in the locker room in the first half. We just played a tough game. You see this consistency or inconsistency with kids. We just played a heck of a game, man. That was physical game. Took all 4 quarters, shut them out in the first half, was able just to keep smashing and get the victory. Can't show up slow. Can't show up not ready to go. Can't be that first half that you had at UAB because you had a tough game on the road the week before. Got to be ready. Got to be ready as soon as the lights turn on. As soon as the buses get there, focus. Know your assignment. Know what just whatever it takes to be ready for Saturday. Kickoff at 2:30.
That's right.
Got to be ready.
Kickoff at 2:30.
But that worries me a little bit, Phil. I don't know if it worries you, but that's kind of maybe the thing is we don't if we don't play in the first quarter, first little bit, Texas A&M could run away and hide.
The thing about the way they started with UAB that didn't make sense is because it was your first actual game in front of your home fans in your home stadium, and there was no reason really to come out slowly. And you're so much times, and I think players and coaches say it week after week, especially after a win. And the questions keep coming to Sam Pittman about what it was like in the locker room after the win over Auburn, and some of the players and all of that kind of stuff got the same question. And they're just more interested in talking about flushing it 24 hours later and moving on to the next game. But in terms of how you're putting it, I don't know if they did physically. Maybe it's more physical than emotional or mental when it came out to how they came out against UAB. I don't know. Maybe it was more mental because it just sounded like they weren't really prepared.
Well, you have to have a small sense of professionalism. And when you're a college kid, week to week, it's a little different than when you're in the NFL, when you're actually a professional. But these kids are professionals, and you have to be ready. Like it takes a little bit more once you get into the season mode to keep your body right, to keep you on the routine. Make sure you're eating right, sleeping right, hydrating. Can't have any more. Can't have. I mean, you're going to be in a controlled, air conditioned environment. Should be able to play all day. Should be able to go and it's the fourth. What is this? Our fifth game of the year. Fourth game of the year.
It should be number 5.
Yeah, should be able to go air conditioned football, man. It's like November in Dallas.
Oh, it's going to be nice, crisp air. I went to one game inside Texas Stadium. It would have been a Steelers Cowboys game, and I think that was 04. Gosh, it's almost like there was no. You would have hated it, Matt. No air circulation whatsoever. It's like the air was just hanging over us, and it was hotter and sweatier than it really was outside the stadium. Not like that inside AT&T Stadium. It's really nice. We got some folks texting in at 877-377-6963 that one reason they might not worry about the voodoo of AT&T Stadium for Arkansas is because Bobby Petrino went 3-0 against A&M in that stadium when he was the head coach. And he got a victory against Arkansas last year as the A&M offensive coordinator. So in terms of at least being inside that stadium, and I guess that doesn't really count. Well, it would count the Cotton Bowl, doesn't it? It counts the Cotton Bowl against Kansas State. That was also in AT&T. He's 4-0 as a head coach at Arkansas inside AT&T Stadium. I know Sam Pittman mentioned about Bobby's record against A&M in that series, but hey, here you got even more example of him, of your offensive coordinator now as a guy that's not been used to losing inside that stadium. So, hey, so many people have been telling us throughout the offseason that one reason why Arkansas was going to get better and going to improve was because of who the offensive coordinator is. I always say your season, you kind of depends upon how you play against Texas A&M. That's just kind of how it's felt over the last few years. Maybe getting Petrino back helps in that sense. Not just because he's a good offensive coordinator, but because he's 4-0 as a head coach in that bill. 5-0 as far as I know, if you're counting him as being the OC.
A&M, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, Texas, Missouri. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our last 8 are going to go bowling. These I don't know if Louisiana Tech and Mississippi State is. Like this, these are real football games, man. This is the big time. You're playing against the big boys, and it's nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. So go out there and have fun, man. Go out there and compete, make plays, have a smile on your face,
enjoy it,
fly around. I mean, these are like you look at our schedule, Phil. 6 of the next 8 opponents are making a bowl game. We haven't beaten a bowl opponent since 2022. So these are real games, man. We better show up. You throw all the records or whatever the past stuff is out, but we haven't beat anybody in a couple years. So this is a chance to actually beat a team that's going to go bowling.
Yeah, because I don't really think Auburn's going bowling this year.
There ain't no way. I'll bet your salary versus Colton's salary. We'll do that. We'll bet y'all's paychecks. Auburn. Well, Hugh Freeze, they'll win 9 of their next 9, but. They're Auburn. That's a bad team right now.
Only way they're going to go bowling if it's a late Thursday night and they all get those
bowling
little.
League, that's right.
Yeah, they all get those little wrist guards. And do they let you smoke cigarettes inside bowling alleys any longer? That's what we used to do. That was the best place to do them. That's right. Listen to Colton laughing about that. He knows what it's like to burn a heater.
Colton's got a 173 average.
I'm sure he does.
That's left-handed.
By the way, I saw the voice of the Oklahoma State Cowboys, Dave Hunsaker. Mike Gundy tweeted this because I guess they go bowling the night before the game sometimes. Do you hear that, Dave Van Horn? Can we start going bowling the day before series? I can't even believe I said that.
You got to bowl with your off arm. If you're a baseball player, I'm not having my guys bowl the night before. You got to go off armed if you're doing it though.
Hunsaker rolled a 300. He rolled a perfect game last Friday, and Gundy had the video of his final roll. 300. You and I've talked. I've hit 199 once. Can't make it to 200. And then Hunsaker's one of the best play-by-play guys in the country. Rolls a 300 with his head coach watching.
Nobody likes to show off. Yeah, I think I'm at 197, Phil. I've never broke 200 as well.
Well, we won't break 200 on halftime today, but we're going to have a good show. We always do. Well, most of it. Maybe about 90% of the time sounds about right. Bob Holt will join us in just a moment. We have Brett Dolan joining us in hour number 2, and nobody with us in the third hour. So let's break. We'll talk with Bob Holt from the Democrat Gazette in just a moment here on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
It's like Clark Kent. This guy is dominating offensively.
Dean, he's also a quality guy. We had more fun talking with him. He was a walk-on. Now he's an All-American. He also is brilliant. He's a great student. Last week he got his MBA. The guy is just what college football is all about.
I've been called everything. Clark Kent, Kurt Rambis, Drew Carey, you name it, I've been called it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Should start with Bob.
It's time to talk with a unique individual.
You said you and Diva are OGs, old guys? Brett, you spoke so positively recently. I mean, did you expect this to happen?
He's a man of mystery.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky? Hey, it's Bob again. I think I'm unmuted now. I figured it out. Man, you win the lottery 3 times, get to go to Starkville.
A man whose incisive questions and rapier wit.
Hey, John, but I had a 2-parter if that's okay. What did you mean? I'm sorry. I'm not that. And we got to get the Packers straightened out. Losing to the Jets, that ain't in Lambeau, that ain't good.
That placed him on the Mount Rushmore of Arkansas sports writers.
What do you think about this?
Sure, Bob. The future in that, yeah.
Here he is, the one and only Bob Holt.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Bob. Good morning. Always appreciate your time here. How's it going today?
Going well. How are you guys? Just waiting for another Tigers victory.
See, there you go. I mean, this is exactly the way you expected it to go when the season started. Tigers all of a sudden moving their way up into postseason contention here in the last, what is there, 5 games left? So you got to be on the edge of your seat, man.
I think it's just 4 games left. And, yeah, the Tigers' magic number is 3. Got the Rays today, and then we got the White Sox in the season home, and everybody says, well, the White Sox are terrible, and their record is. But they've won their last 2. You can win. The White Sox are going to be coming in loose and looking to play spoilers. So, yeah, the Tigers still have work to do. But the fact we've worked our way into this position is pretty incredible.
How many games? You remember, it was the Tigers that were that close to setting the record for losses in a season. I think it was 2003. I think they were, 119 losses with how many games left, and then they won the rest of them, right?
Well, I just remember 119 losses, and poor Alan Trammell, our Hall of Fame shortstop, was the manager, and of course it wasn't his fault. We just had a terrible team, and then Mike Ilitch came in and started signing some good players like Magglio Ordonez and Pedro Rodriguez, and we traded for Miguel Cabrera, and drafted Justin Verlander, and traded for Max Scherzer, and things got a lot better. Well, we couldn't quite get a World Series. We got the World Series twice, but couldn't win the championship. But hey, and I'm saying this for the Tigers, anybody, Royals, Diamondbacks or whatever, look what the Diamondbacks did last year. If you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. So I just am hoping we can get in the playoffs. We got to finish the job. We got to win at least 3 more games, or we got to have some combination of 3 Tiger wins, or some combination of Tiger wins and Twins losses that add up to 3. So, keep my fingers crossed.
Let's get into this A&M game. There's the feeling of some of the same keys to last week's game against Auburn, in terms of you got to be able to establish the run. Line of scrimmage play is huge in this, probably the top key on both sides of the ball. Differences, though, here is that where Auburn just has so much trouble holding onto the ball and had a little trouble also protecting quarterbacks, A&M does not have those issues. They hold onto the ball. They haven't allowed many sacks. So in that sense, you'd just be surprised if Arkansas is able to win the game based on the strength of a +3 turnover margin.
Yeah, Arkansas is going to have to play better. That obviously was a good win at Auburn for Arkansas. Any SEC road win is good, but could be facing a redshirt freshman quarterback again. Marcel Reed. He started the last 2 games with Connor Wegman having an AC joint shoulder sprain, I guess. And one difference with Reed is he's had 2 starts, including that game at Florida, who I know is not, this is not a vintage Florida team, but still he's got an SEC road win under his belt. He hadn't thrown any interceptions in like 50-some passes, so he's not likely to turn it over. Or if Wegman plays, he's not likely. The A&M's, like you said, they're not likely to throw Arkansas 5 picks or 4 picks or whatever it was. They might throw a couple, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, the A&M's a better team than Auburn. It's a neutral site. So it's going to be a tough game, but I definitely think it's winnable for Arkansas. But I'm sure A&M's got this marked down as a win for them as well.
Hey, Bob, who scares you on this A&M team? I think back to this Auburn game and the receiver number 5, we contained him for the most part, but he had a couple big plays. Who are some of the playmakers we have to worry about on this A&M team?
Well, I'd say Reed play. I don't know why. I just have a feeling he's going to play. And I know he's a redshirt freshman, but Sam Pittman pointed out he's a guy that Arkansas recruited. He's from I'm trying to remember. Is he from? I think he's from Nashville, but I'm having a whatever.
He's from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, good. And he's a guy that can run, beat you with his legs and his passing. A&M had an interesting stat on him. He passed for over. I think he's the first quarterback since Johnny Manziel in 2012, the year Manziel won the Heisman, to rush for 80+ yards and throw for over 150 yards in back-to-back games. And so, I'm not saying this guy's Johnny Manziel, but I would be worried about him. And I apologize. I don't have the depth chart in front of me, but I know A&M's got some good. I think they've got a pretty good group of running backs. I can't say the guy's name. It starts with an O. You know what I'm talking about? It's like OZEM. It looks like one of the medications I take. But he's a pretty dangerous receiver. He's a guy
Number
I would be
17.
worried about. Yeah. Isn't it like Ozempic or something? That's
O
what it meant.
OHRS. Yeah, it's Ostrom.
Okay.
Wait till you hear
Okay.
about the list of side effects from Ostrom too, Bob. It's really frightening.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean to make fun of the guy's name or anything. He's a good player, and they've got a safety, Ratcliffe, who's a transfer from San Diego State. He's got 3 picks this year. Him and T.J. Metcalf will have 3, lead the SEC, and Ratcliffe's had 1 in each of the last 3 games. And that Bowling Green game, you know, Bowling Green's a pretty good MAC team. They gave Penn State a tough game, so people should look at that score where A&M beat Bowling Green 26-20 and say, oh, they're not any good, you know. But this guy, so those are 2 ball hawks, right? T.J. Metcalf's been around the ball a lot, and Ratcliffe has too. So you've got the 2 top interception guys in the SEC going at it. And obviously, they won't be on the field at the same time. And I think special teams are going to be big. We know these A&M games, regardless of circumstances, they always seem to go down to the wire. And so, you know, Cam Little, who's arguably the best kicker Arkansas has ever had, you remember he missed a field goal a couple of years ago that could have won the game. Obviously made a ton of big field goals too as well. And so, you know, Kyle Ramsey, he's been a little hit and miss, but he has hit. You know, he had a big field goal last week at Auburn after an early miss that gave him a 10-point lead. He hit a 51-yarder against UAB, but I think the kicking game's going to be pretty big too, because it's going to be a close game, I believe.
How are you feeling about the pass protection for Arkansas? You know, I mean, it's, you know, Sam keeps saying week after week, we've got to pass protect better. We've got to pass protect better, and he's showing that it's not the sort of thing that it should be ingrained in the team, because nobody's just getting bowled over, or just you know, knocked down and pancaked and run right through. It's a matter of not being in the right gap or communication issues, and it sounds like they want. You know, they want Green to be in a pocket a little bit more than he has been. And then part of that also leads to getting the ball to Luke Hasz, which I guess either he's not getting open or Green's not looking to him when he's been on the run, because he's looking more towards Andrew Armstrong, which makes a lot of sense. But do you think that this is a team that can pass protect better? Or potentially is this also an idea that Taylor Green is just, I think he's better on the run and maybe better outside the pocket?
Well, he makes some big plays with his legs. Look at that touchdown pass to Satania last week. I mean, he was flushed out of the pocket and ran to his left, and Matt has a better idea about this, but you run to your left and your right-hander, and he just throws about 65 yards. Yeah, but he's got the arm. He's obviously made some great scrambles, but he's also taken some sacks, and he's thrown some picks. It's kind of like being a point guard in basketball. You have the ball in your hands that much, there's going to be some bad plays along with the good. But I'd say the good for Taylor has outweighed the bad to this point. But, you know, one thing Sam talked about was it wasn't necessarily the offensive line getting beat one-on-one, 5-on-5. It was, taken as a group, including the tight ends and the running backs. They got to get better pass protection in certain plays from their complement. The other guys besides the linemen. Maybe a 6 or 7 man protection, or if they keep an extra tight end in or whatever. But the bottom line is they need to pass protect better. And A&M always has a pretty good defensive line, has good athletes, good front seven, and that'll be a big thing. But thankfully for Arkansas, or fortunately for Arkansas, they have a quarterback with some escapability who can turn what might look like a busted play into a big play, or certainly a gain and not a loss. But yeah, they need to protect them better. We talked about some of the timing issues on those passes where, Sam said if he got better protection, the timing on the passes would probably be better. So that'll be a big key, I think, to see how the pass protection does hold up in its totality, not just the line, but the tight ends and running backs as well.
Well, I want to ask you about a different game. It is the biggest game in college football, I'd say, for this year. It's the biggest game so far this year. A lot more big games to come. But Georgia at Alabama, How do you see this one going? It's Coach's DeBarro, it's his first real big game at Alabama, and some were saying the honeymoon phase is over. They're still undefeated. I have the winner of this game should be the new number one. It will be the best win in college football this year. How do you see that one going?
Yeah, it's a really interesting matchup because Kirby Smart obviously has the Alabama background. That was with Nick Saban, who's retired, but Kirby was one of five, 1-5 against Alabama Nick Saban. But the one was a national title game win, and he also lost him in the national title game. So I think it's a great early matchup. I mean, this is a game you honestly probably like to see played later in the year. But if I have to choose, I probably, even though the game's in Tuscaloosa, I'm going to go with Georgia because Kirby's been in so many of these games before, and Kevin DeBoer has too. I mean, he played the championship game last year against Texas, but I think Kirby. I think it's gonna be a great game. Probably might come down a field goal or something, but I just like Georgia going in there with a veteran quarterback and all their experience and all their wins. But it certainly won't surprise me if Alabama wins at home, but I gotta pick Georgia.
Let's see what other games got your attention here in the SEC. What else is standing out here? Oklahoma, Auburn stand out to you? Mississippi State, Texas, Kentucky, Ole Miss. We're starting to really get into the league schedule now.
Yeah, Auburn, Oklahoma is intriguing, kind of from a train wreck standpoint. It's a game that both teams really need, right? They're both Oklahoma switching quarterbacks. They're benching, at least for this game, or at least for the start. They're five-star quarterback, Jackson Arnold. They're starting Hawkins. I think it's Michael Hawkins, true freshman, who's got more running ability. And right now, I think OU's offensive line, they've had some injury issues. They're not protecting real well. And so I think they like having a quarterback who's more mobile. And then Auburn, we don't know who they're going to start. I don't think Hugh Freeze is named starter. And, of course, he's gotten it from everybody. I mean, the former quarterback, Bo Wallace, Lane Kiffin's taking shots at him. He said that really weird thing on the radio where if they played Arkansas again 9 times, they beat them 9 times. And you're thinking, where is this coming from? I'm all for having confidence in your team, but you got beat at home by 10 points. And it should have been worse, honestly, with all the turnovers. So, but yeah, I think Auburn, Oklahoma is really intriguing because, Auburn desperately needs a win. And Oklahoma doesn't want to start 0-2 in the SEC in their inaugural year. And like I said, they're starting a true freshman quarterback on the road. And then I think Kentucky, Ole Miss. Kentucky's had some really excruciating losses to Ole Miss. And I know Kentucky got beat badly at home by Georgia. By South Carolina, but they came back, gave Georgia a tough game. And, I thought Mark Stoops, I think he can scheme up some against Ole Miss. So I think that's a fairly interesting game as well, Kentucky at Ole Miss. You have to favor Ole Miss at home, but I think Kentucky could go in there and make it interesting.
Bob, you're a good man joining us on these Thursdays. Always enjoy it. Safe travels to the Metroplex, and we'll talk again next week.
Okay, you guys take care.
Thanks, Bob.
You got it. Bob Holt, he brought jokes today for his weekly segment.
He's ready to go, huh? That was I like old Bob.
Speaking of Freeze, we've come up with I think a fairly halfway decent idea here. We've gone back to the movie Major League. You remember they had the cardboard cutout of Rachel, the team owner, and you can and it kind of helped rally them back for how many wins they needed to win their division. You remember that? They would remove one little piece of clothing off of the cardboard cutout. But in this case, you have Hugh Freeze with the bubble, the bubble coming out of his mouth for the word that's basically saying you suck to the Razorbacks. You have that in the locker room, and you remove and in fact you have another cardboard cutout next to him of one of his ladies of the night. And then you can kind of choose however many wins you go throughout the season. Maybe you can extend Hugh's arm a little closer towards the lady of the night with each victory, or maybe with each win, with one more win, it's one more digit that he pokes into the cell phone. I think that might work too. 877-377-6963 for any of your great ideas here on Halftime. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, football fans, with BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-ON. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we're inside of Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. I'm with my guy, Josefa. Today, it was the French toast turkey melt, but other daily specials every single day.
Yeah, Ty, we just kind of want everybody to know that we're not just sandwiches around here. We have all kinds of different specials. There's always something different right here at Lily's Sandwich Shop.
Award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Don't believe me? Talk to Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups to large companies, young families to seniors, and those with shared backgrounds and interests. We value your contributions and are proud to work alongside you because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too. And so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with always on energy. Visit AOGC.com.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. For instance, TCU walked into the locker room at halftime in the 2016 Alamo Bowl, down 31-0. The Horned Frogs stormed into the second half and erased the 31-point deficit to force overtime, and eventually won it in the third overtime, 47-41.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Halftime with Bill Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
So Arkansas has lost 10 of the last 11 trips to AT&T Stadium. House of horrors. House of horrors. There's some stadiums where the opponent has everything to do with it, and that it's tough to play on the road. This is different though. This is a road game, but you have half the stadium are your own fans. I mean, you got Arkansas on one side, A&M on the other side, so it's a legitimate neutral site. There have been years where you go in and A&M's favored like by 22 or 23 and end up winning by 3 or 4 points. So I guess it's a game where a stadium where they go and they do play hard, just can't ever figure out a way to win it. I remember, I don't know, maybe fans would try to do something to break some of that voodoo potentially. Like I remember the Steelers had a really long home winning streak against the Cleveland Browns at old Three Rivers Stadium, and I think once the streak reached something like 18 or 19 games, Browns would bring dirt from Cleveland Municipal Stadium for every game to Three Rivers and thought it might work. I don't really think it did work for a while. Penguins had a long losing streak for 6 or 7 years in the Spectrum against the Flyers. The Dolphins beat the Bills 29 straight games in Miami. They beat them every year in Miami from 1970 to 1983, which is wild because they made the Super Bowl in 83. Notre Dame beat Navy 43 straight games in South Bend. Think about this streak. That lasted from 1927 through 2016. Almost 90 years. And then Alabama beat Mississippi State 32 consecutive games at home until from 1959 until the Bulldogs beat Alabama in 2021. You had to do something to get out of this because – hey, at some point you'd like to get back inside that stadium for a Cotton Bowl game or a college football playoff semifinal or a championship game or something. But I have a sense that out of half of that stadium filled with Razorback fans, which makes it like what? You'll probably have about 25 to 30,000 of your own fans there. Some people are going to be bringing like grass from Northwest Arkansas, rice from Eastern Arkansas, dirt from anywhere around the state, maybe a piece of Petit Jean Mountain, water from the Arkansas River, anything to try to bring some Arkansas, a little bit of an Arkansas bent to this. And then you can walk out of there knowing that you did your own part. Because when it comes to fandom, Matt, we always believe that we can have just a tiny little bit to do with how they're performing on the field.
It's only weird if it doesn't work. That's right.
It hasn't worked yet.
Well, this A&M team, and Phil, you bring up a good point about sometimes that they're favored by a lot, or it's a closer matchup. I really think it's a coin flip matchup. I don't think this is a super elite A&M team, but they're going to be defensive. Last week I said I thought it was the first one to 24 against Auburn. Kind of almost feels like that again, that the first one that could get to 24, maybe 28, somewhere right around there, might be able to win it. I could see, I don't know if we pitch a shutout in either one of the halves, but I could definitely see Travis Williams having at least 2 quarters where the team doesn't score. I mean, we'll have a shutout one of the quarters.
It's not like A&M is like a really high-scoring offense either.
I don't see their speed that they had. When they had A-Chain, just a couple years ago, they even had speed, some receivers that played in the NFL now that they had. I just don't, when you look at it, you kind of wonder where is their speed?
That's a very good question. I don't think they have, like the big playmaker at receiver that we've seen in other years.
Mm-hmm.
And, Le'Veon Moss is a very good SEC running back, but I wouldn't put him at the level of an A-Chain. Or even a level of a Jaquindon Jackson.
Or Sampson out of Tennessee.
Right. And I don't think they have a receiver that you would put on par with Andrew Armstrong.
I like.
You do wonder about, they've distributed the ball a lot more than Arkansas has distributed the ball. I mean, they've got 3
guys with over 9 catches.
Yeah, they have 3 players over 9 catches. Arkansas has 1, and that's Armstrong. Nobody has more than 7. So that's also going to be an aspect of it. And
How do you think?
Can't be Armstrong just catching everything 3 weeks in a row, can it?
Well, that's my Elko. You know he makes a lot of money. We all know this. You know Elko's going to. What does Travis Williams do when he plays against somebody? He takes away whatever the team does best. He's going to take away Armstrong. You know, what are we going to do when Armstrong is getting doubled? And he's going to know, hey, this is his outlet. This is his guy. This is his comfort zone. What do we got to do? We got to make sure we don't let Armstrong get off. I think it's going to be, you bring that up, no other guys have more than 7 catches. I think this might be the first game where we're going to have a wide receiver too. And it can be by committee. You know, we keep asking, well, who's the second wide receiver? Maybe there's 3 of them, but somebody, a group, tight end, somebody's going to have to step up, because I bet Elko has something for Armstrong that we have. And Petrino does such a good job with the switch releases and the movement and the way he sets it up. So it's tough to always get to him on a double, but hey, Elko knows what he's doing, and I think he'll have something that'll be a little different for Taylor Green and Armstrong.
On Sam Pittman Live last night, which you probably listened to in this very radio station you're listening to right now, he did speak on getting the ball to playmakers, and specifically tight end Luke Hasz.
Certainly, with the Bobby Petrino offense, we know look at Andrew. We know who to try to get the ball to. Luke happens to be one of those guys, and we believe in all our guys out there running routes. He has to be one of those guys. We call it for whatever reason, whether they're rotating the coverage over there, whether he doesn't get open, or whether we don't have time to throw it. We know what we have in Luke Hasz. We know it, and we're trying to use him, and we'll continue to do that. And I expect that he'll start getting his catches here very, very quickly.
A lot of that has to go with protection of Taylor Green as well. And Matt, if I think of one player, one route that I think has been open a few times, and I'm not sure if Green has looked for this route when it's happened, and maybe part of the idea is the protection. They've had the wheel route open a few times. A free runner going down the field as well with a lot of room. I have a sense that they'll be looking for that a couple of times. And if it's open and Green's looking for it, you're going to end up with a big play to one of these playmakers who hasn't been getting many passes coming his way, whether it's Hasz or maybe even a Rodney Hill out of the backfield. I think it's going to end up being a pretty big play this Saturday.
And if it's open like what you're saying it is, it's a level 2 throw right at him type of throw. You know, you're not going to throw him where he can't get it when he's open like that, man. You're just kind of level 2-ing it, and you're darting it kind of just right at him almost, where it's okay if he slows up a little bit. The natural momentum of everything should keep it going, but you don't want to underthrow it or try to guide it, and you don't want to sell it over him. When you have that wheel right there, man, that's a level 2. Just pop it right on him.
They're getting everything ready right now at Crabtree RV Center for the big fall sale, and is coming up in a little about right at 2 weeks, October 10th through October the 13th. There'll be special deals on RVs and trailers, door prizes, and their experienced, knowledgeable staff is on hand. They're going to make sure that they help you pick the perfect RV or trailer for your family's adventures. It's Crabtree RV Center, where I-40 and I-49 come together right behind the Cracker Barrel in Alma, CrabtreeRV.com. Stay with us. We're back to wrap up halftime in our first hour in just a moment.
This is halftime.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles, 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
Folks, here we are at Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway. Grant, Neal, it's truck season at Road Chevrolet. You got 1.9% for well-qualified buyers on the 2024 Silverado 1500.
Absolutely. So we've got continuing great rebates coming out with great financing offers from GM Financial. You can get up to $7,000 off of a new Silverado right now with that 1.9% financing available on certain models. And a deferral for 90 days on payment. So 3 months without having to make a payment is pretty nice going into the holiday season.
And the great thing about that, it's in addition to the 1.9%. It's not or, it's plus.
Yeah, we're glad to see that the manufacturer and GM Financial stepping up and really getting the great deals. You know, September's the beginning of cooler season of the holidays. It's football season, and we're excited to have the excitement in the air.
So do a little tailgating this football season on the back of your new Silverado from Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Did your 6 weeks with your kids this summer fly by? Is your ex on another tropical vacation while you're working 2 jobs to pay your child support? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Arkansas law on custody and child support has changed, and those changes could benefit you. So stop scrolling through her vacation pictures and protect your rights today. Call me at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Your Honor, my son deserves this kid.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
She's a beauty like season, like tide.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Swung on, ground ball up the middle, base hit. Young being waved around third. Throw to the plate is not in time. The Travs are Texas League champions. Alberto Rodriguez walks it off. He's hit to center field. Pandemonium at Dickey Stevens Park.
That is my good friend and former Northwest Arkansas Naturals announcer Stephen Davis with the call of the final pitch and play of the Texas League season, and the Arkansas Travelers win their Texas League championship. First time since 2008, thanks to a walk-off single in front of a nice, large, raucous crowd, and that's always a lot of fun. And they got Midland back, too. I think I've told you about this before, Matt. Midland beat the Travelers in the 2005 championship series. That was practically a major league team the Travelers had that year. Howie Kendrick, Eric Ibar, Alberto Callaspo, Mike Napoli, Jared Weaver, Kendrys Morales. There's a few others that played in the big leagues on that team, too. But they got screwed in the final play, the final at-bat of the season, where a 1-0 game or a 1-run game, and an Arkansas batter named Jason Espedo was on a full count, took ball 4. The umpire then told him it was ball 3. And he was so beside himself, he swung at the final pitch of the season, which was like 3 feet above his head, and that was it. The season ended on a 4-2 count. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in any sport, certainly to end a season, and they got him back yesterday, although nobody really still plays for those teams from 2005. It's been 19 years.
Mike Napoli was on that Bo Sox team that won a World Series, or
I think he was.
And then Jared Weaver won a World Series, I believe. I mean,
he never won a World Series, but he was the Angels ace for a few years there.
Yeah, absolutely, I remember him. Yeah, man, I remember like 4 of those guys you said.
That was a big league team, really was. Meanwhile, the Midland team that year had some of the guys that you read about in Moneyball, including the guy who was described by Michael Lewis as the fat catcher from Alabama, Jeremy Brown. He was on that Midland team too. So it's like opening Moneyball, and it's been like, what, 30, not even 30. I think it's been like 25, 24 years since Moneyball came out. And I can't get over the idea of the guy being called a fat catcher, and that they actually thought that they'd get away with it. All right, we go into hour number 2 of halftime. 877-377-6963 to get with us, calls and texts. Brett Dolan joins us in about 20 minutes. So we got an open segment coming up. Stay with us and get with us on halftime.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Ty Richardson for the #1 liquor store in the River Valley, Eastside Liquor. It's football season and the Hogs are back, baby. Plus your favorite NFL team. If you need beers for the boys, seltzers for the ladies, or brown water for the big-time wins, Dave and his entire team at Eastside Liquor can take care of you today. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Convenient drive-through and always have what you're looking for. Plus a new bigger and better location is on the way. The game's always better after stopping by Eastside.
Over 11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to 7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to $6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a high in the upper 70s to near 80. We'll start to see some changes moving our way tonight. Area of low pressure could touch off just a few showers. Our overnight lows will drop down into the upper 50s. Rainfall moves in from Helene on Friday, our high in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
Name of one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Moving on, halftime, hour number 2, 1 minute after the top of the hour. Phil Elson, Matt Jones. I think Seaburger Movie Unit is with us now in the producer's chair.
I think it's a 45 production.
Is it a 45 production for the entire show?
Mhm.
All right, we can deal with that.
It will
That's
be
all right.
for the next couple hours, at least it seems like today. Christian, man, he's running this place today with Tygon, so he's inundated now with important activities.
I'd forgotten about that. That means the inmates are out of the asylum, and people with actual responsibilities are the ones running it today, right? Ty's at a wedding tomorrow, isn't he? Is it his sister that's getting married on a Friday?
Family wedding on a Friday, which is whatever. But family wedding. So this one he probably should be at. You can't tease him about going to this wedding. It's
Well,
just his
sure I
family.
can. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
That's so true, though. He's been to 20 in the past since I've met him. Since I've known him in the past 5 months, he's been to, it seems like, a wedding every other weekend.
Guy like Ty shows up at every wedding expecting to meet this year's wife. So hopefully it works out for
Good
him
luck.
this week.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very good luck, and have fun getting back in your chair when you get back here on Monday, because Christian Johnston is the man.
He
running
might
the
smell
place
like
now.
patchouli if he's going out to San Francisco.
No, I think it's Southern California.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be Armani and all of that kind of stuff.
Marnie exchange.
Or Santa's, one of those.
And be wearing Geo, just like we all did, or the girls all did 30
There's this
years
new
ago.
thing called coconut water.
I think he's been bathing himself in something that smells like coconut water Axe spray for the last couple of years. Oh, man. See, this is what happens when you're not in the building, Ty. No, never mind. We make fun of you no matter when it is. I got a couple of callers on hold. Let's first go to Eduardo, who was quite active texting this morning. And Eduardo's got, all right, where are we going with this, Eduardo? Are we doing movies? Are we doing music? Are we talking football? Where are we going?
I tell you what, we're talking recipe. We're talking about the shelf in the oven, baby. And when I'm starting to simmer in the oven and smell, it's a recipe that our players are going to take to Arlington Saturday and deliver it to the Aggies. Let me say this. It's baking in the oven, baby. We got 1 inch hog alive. Let me tell you, it's cranked up right now. Fan base, can you smell it? Because when we win this game, I have no doubt we're going to win it. There should be no doubt in our coaches' mind, our players' mind, and our fan base mind. We're going to win this game Saturday in Arlington, Texas. And we're there to deliver the recipe. We're there to deliver the sugar. And what is the sugar? It's to play on the field, and we got playmakers, baby, on the sides of the ball. I want to give you a big thank you, Mr. Phil Elson. You brought up Motley Crue. Let me tell you something, Dr. Feelgood.
Well, see, I only wondered about this because he called me Eddie, I'll cut in just for a moment. Eduardo referred to me this morning on a text as Dr. Phil, and I don't want to have anything to do with that guy. I'd much rather, I had a nickname. One of the nicknames I got from a Travelers manager was Dr. Feelgood. So you can actually go in that direction with me. So that's why we're bringing up Motley Crue, because Dr. Feelgood is a heck of a lot more fun than Dr. Phil.
That's exactly right, sir. But if you allow me, I want to dedicate this song to Coach Pittman, all our coaches, all our players, the Flame by Cheap Trick. I want them to know, wherever you go, our fan base is with you, baby. And we're starting to go crazy over you. And when you win this game, woo, we're coming back to Hoptown, USA. And we're going to get the Flames cranked up and welcome the balls to the home team, baby. Get the fire department on standby.
Eduardo, the fire department's always on standby, no matter what's going on. But since you're on the phone, they're already in the truck. Eduardo, thank you for listening to our show. I got to appreciate he brought up Cheap Trick instead of Eternal Flame by the Bangles, which I don't know if it's a good football song. Then again, The Flame by Cheap Trick, that's not really a football song either. No one's getting fired up to that. That's about your old love that you can't let go. That's a tissue song. That's Kleenex. That's not football. But I tell you, he also brought up the idea of the sugar. I guess he thinks that the only song involving sugar is Pour Some Sugar on Me by Led Zeppelin. He didn't tell me which song he was referring to. I had to ask him, are we talking Maroon 5? Is this the Archies? No, it was it was Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Did I say Zeppelin? For some reason, because it's the same amount of letters, I think, in both bands.
It's all,
Def Leppard. That's exactly. Well, that's the direction he went with it. Robert gets to follow up after Eduardo. Have at it, Robert. Nobody wants to follow Eduardo, but you are the number 2 batter today. See, I told you nobody wants to follow up Eduardo. So Robert's
that was a check swing. Pitch was a good pitch. Just didn't see it. Just didn't see it all the way.
He is not the first caller that has been on hold with Eddie doing his shtick and then hangs up because nobody wants to follow him. Nobody wants to follow Eduardo. It's like batting after Shohei Ohtani. You can't do anything.
It's like being in the final group with Tiger Woods. You're going to shoot 6 over par. That's just what you're going to do.
It's just a very tough place to be. It's too bad. All right, so if you want to try, look, you're not following Eduardo anymore. It's been like a minute. 877-377-6963. Somebody already followed up Eduardo. He's been struck out, so now you can call back, and we can put you on and figure out exactly what it is that you wanted to talk about here. But so Eduardo brings up the recipe, and the recipe for Hog Delight, I've asked him what the recipe is numerous times. I think it changes on a week by week and season by season basis. But the recipe this weekend, Matt, I think has a little bit more to do with not making some of the mistakes offensively that Arkansas made against Auburn last week. Because against a better team, a team that, might have a little stickum on their hands when it comes to holding on to the ball, they'll take advantage of those mistakes instead of giving you the ball right back. So you did see a little bit of the Oklahoma State game at Auburn, but you got out there with the win. I don't think you can make the same mistakes this weekend.
I'm with you. If we have 2 or more turnovers, I don't see us winning this game. We got to play a cleaner game. Doesn't mean you don't play with confidence and play with an attitude. But have to and keep them. Hey, we got to shout out the fact that I think we played a clean game when it comes to penalties. We're getting better there. Now you get better. Just keep improving each week. Get back to running the ball a little bit. You'd like to see Jaquindon Jackson, and it's not necessarily has to have over 100 yards, but get back up there to where he's averaging 5 yards a carry instead of 3. Keep us in some third and manageable. I think that's the money down, man. I really do. I think with Elko and Williams, just the coaches that are involved in the strategery, that's going to go along with it. I think third down is going to be key.
Yeah, Arkansas at 61%, but a little over 50% against FBS competition on third down. A&M on third down defensively, allowing just 29%.
Ooh, man, something's got to give right there.
Something will give in that case. Absolutely. Just trying to go back and look and see how A&M's been doing on third down in the last in the last couple of games. But both these teams, what they do is they can have really long drives. Arkansas, a couple of scoring drives that were over 6 minutes last week. A&M has the same kind of offense. So, both teams will kind of be playing keep away too. Keep their defense off the field, extend the drives. And, I think both of these teams have the mindset that they can, just like Arkansas did at the end of the game at Auburn, run at you 10 times in a row if they want to. That's how both of these teams may try to put a game away when it comes down to the fourth quarter.
Love to see maybe a screen game at some point. And I know you brought up the wheel route earlier. Some type of screen game going, and then a little. I know we tried a little misdirection. It was like a double reverse flea flicker. It's a good. It didn't work out, but it didn't really hurt us too bad. Like we didn't turn the ball over, but you'd like to see something to keep them off balance. If you can get a reverse on them, you get them chasing, you get a screen game. Well, then what it does is they don't start sending pressure after the quarterback as much because you're gashing them kind of in the soft spot right there. So you'd like to see that. And I think our running backs, Phil, you've probably noticed or seen more of this than I have, but it seems like the 3 running backs they've decided on, it seems like they catch the ball okay.
It's a matter of it coming their way, though, too. It's just, Jackson's caught 5 balls. Hill has 5 catches. And we haven't seen one yet from Braylon Russell, but they did say Russell can catch pretty good coming out of it's talked about that from the spring. We just haven't seen it in a game yet.
Number 20's Hill, right?
Yes.
We haven't seen him much out of him, but I like him. I might even like him more than Russell so far, what I've seen. I know they're different backs. Russell's just a big old cannonball. Going down, and I dig it. I like him too. I'm not saying that I don't like him. Hill has a little wiggle, kind of like that Augusta. I like some Fred Talley. I like a running back that can do a little something, a little wiggle.
But he's a real change of pace from the other 2 backs that you're seeing.
Exactly right.
They all have different styles.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jackson's a bruiser, but maybe not quite like Russell. He doesn't quite have that size. But, man, he's shifty. He's able to slip through those small holes and just read where the hole is coming from and know when it's going to open. And then there's Hill, and I'm not going to call him like a scat back kind of a guy, but he's smaller, he's quick, he's fast. I like when you have running backs that come with different styles. Nobody on this team runs the same. Let's take a call from Cecil, and then Robert got back on hold. So, Cecil, you're up first. How you doing today?
I'm good. Suey. Hey, Phil, I heard what you just said about the similar play style, and it's going to be a really interesting game because of Petrino, who was the offensive coordinator there, and I'm sure he knows things about the defense, what they run. I don't even know who's coaching over at Texas A&M, but it's a lot of the players are still there, so it's going to be really interesting. But again, just like when we played against Oklahoma State, I didn't panic. We do have a good team, and the team that we do have, if we execute and don't fumble the ball and no turnovers, we could beat anybody, the team that we have. But I'm just hoping we win at least 7 games. Actually, what kind of pace are we on right now, Phil, as far as the winning percentage?
The winning percentage is one thing. It's just that your season is backloaded with your toughest opponents. So you can look at a winning percentage, right?
6 of our opponents are in the top 25, Phil. 6 of our last 8, yeah.
It's really difficult to predict ahead and see what you think might happen, but it's based on the number of games left. But that's what makes this game so amazingly important for getting at least to 6 and then improving your bowl game once you do that. You had to beat Auburn, you have to beat A&M, and you're going to have to beat Mississippi State. Those 3 games are the most important games of the season. Robert in Boonville, he's back with us, and he'll take us into the break. What's up, Robert?
Hi, man. I just wanted to tell you, I think this quarterback from UNLV that's got the problem with leaving because he's claiming that the school didn't pay him what they promised, and the school is saying that
Luca is his name.
Yeah. I think that just indicates that we're going to have some more control, and I tell you what, I think what's going to happen, I think college football 10 years from now is going to look totally different than it does now, because it's estimated that Georgia paid $20 million for their roster. And I think teams like Arkansas, Texas, some teams like that, I think we can afford $20 million, and I think we can compete. But I think there's probably 50 colleges out there that can't compete. And I think they're going to realize that. And they're either going to have to be put in a different classification so they can compete among themselves, or they're just going to have to get out of football altogether, one or the other, because they're going to have to realize, hey, if we can't come up with $20 million to pay these guys, we're not going to have a ball team that can really compete for the championship. What do you think?
Well, I do think you make a really good point when you point to the money that Georgia is spending on their roster. That's purely NIL. I think Ohio State's the same way here. So once you get to revenue share and players are being paid directly by the universities, if NIL is still allowed and allowed in its current form, meaning the collectives, then you're still going to end up with Georgia paying $20 million more to their players than most other teams. You know, they'll pay them the $22 million based on what the agreement will be with the judge and with the opposing sides in these lawsuits. But then NIL will be on top of that, which I think would be the real separating factor. If we're all playing from the same pot of money in terms of paying players from the school, that's one thing. But when NIL gets involved and the collectives get involved, then you're back in the same boat that you're in right now. And nobody wants to really be in that boat. Quick break on halftime. We'll be joined in just a moment by Brett Dolan, who is somewhere out there traveling, so stay with us.
Is halftime.
I tell you what, I know this got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, we're the best team in the country today. And it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy, the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Pay attention. This happens fast. Routine, scheduled, maintenance. You know it's coming one day, but that day's in the future. Then the future comes, and your wallet's not ready for that $250 maintenance. But your forklift is. It needs it. Good thing you're smart. You're buying a used forklift from Medley Equipment Company this summer, and its first planned maintenance will be free because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm branch manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, the savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel Crickhopper.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to 7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to 6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction if I try. No.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, this is going to be a little bit more fun than usual because our esteemed world traveler, since he was in Italy over the summer, is traveling right now, but I believe he is boarding a plane while he is speaking to us here on Halftime. It is world traveler and sports broadcaster Brett Dolan. Where are you and where are you headed, Brett?
I'm in Dallas. I'm in the exit row, so I'm firmly entrenched in my seat, waiting for the ceremony that we go through at some point. But no, I'm here. I think this will time out perfectly. We'll be able to talk a little football before we close the doors and on we go to the next place.
What's worse, removing your shoes next to a passenger that you've never met before, or doing a radio interview with that on the phone while you're sitting next to that person?
That's a good question. No, I'm sitting next to a flight attendant who's eating lunch, so we're just kind of doing our thing right now. So she's eating and I'm talking on the radio, so we're kind of a good team, I think.
That's good. Well, we'll get her idea of the Arkansas A&M game at some point too. But maybe first we'll get your idea of the Arkansas and A&M game. I went into the break saying that I think the 3 games you absolutely have to win if you're going to get where you want to go. And I understand you want at least 6 wins. You want a bowl game. You go from there. Auburn, Mississippi State, and they have to have this game. Have to.
Completely agree. And I felt good last week, and I think you guys did as well, about the possibility of winning at Auburn. And that's check one. I feel pretty good about them winning against A&M. I think Mississippi State, I know it's a road game, but they clearly are seemingly having enough problems where I don't feel like that would be an impossible win either. So I think this is a good stretch. We all know about the House of Horrors that Arlington has been in the head-to-head matchup with Texas A&M, but it's got to end sometime, and I'm feeling pretty good about the Hogs and what they might be able to do to start accumulating those wins, as you mentioned, during this really important stretch to get to 6.
Hey, I want to ask you about another big one that's coming up, and I know we got some UNLV stuff to get to as well, but this Georgia at Alabama game, I think the winner should be the number 1 ranked team in the country. How do you see this one going? Who do you like in this one?
It's a great question, Matt. It's one I've thought about a lot. They're both coming off bye weeks, and Georgia's won 42 straight regular season games, but that doesn't factor in the SEC championships. And, of course, that's been Alabama that's had success directly against Georgia. Now, when Alabama's had success against Georgia, that was a different coaching staff. I think Alabama's got a better offense. I think Georgia has a better defense. And the fact that Georgia's only about a 2.5-point favorite at home tells me I think there's a lot of people like myself that feel like Alabama could win this game. They both had one down game. I saw Kentucky give Georgia fits. Alabama had problems, I think, with USF. Milroe and Beck are both really good quarterbacks. The one thing I think, if it's decided in Alabama's favor, Matt, is that it's hard to run against Georgia. It's still hard to sustain drives against them. You got to be able to beat them downfield. Milroe did that last year. Kalen DeBoer's offense, it's new, but he likes to get the ball downfield vertically. And I think if Alabama can do that a few times, I would not have a problem taking the 2.5 points or thinking they might be able to win this game.
Yeah, I like both quarterbacks. I want to get your thought real quick on a dual threat guy. When you look in college, and I look at what Taylor Green's doing, and obviously you got to be able to make plays from the pocket. But don't you think it's almost beneficial in the college game to have a guy that's a dual threat guy?
Well, I do, and I think we're seeing that with Taylor because he's sub 50% some of these games. He's still dynamic enough to make 1 or 2 plays downfield with his arm, and then continually runs for first downs on 3rd and 10s and whatnot. I think we see that a little bit with Iamaleava in Tennessee, similar in the fact that the kid can run. He's mobile, but also has a good arm. And I do think in this day and age, the ability to win if you're not extremely effective or you're not a 70% passer like Carson Beck is you got to be able to move. You got to be able to run. And we're seeing that certainly with Taylor and his big playability and a handful of others. Milroe to a lesser extent. I know they don't want him running as much. Iamaleava in Tennessee. And there's still a few others, I think, that are really dynamic guys that you just can't take your eyes off of because whether they're being rushed or whether they're throwing, they can make plays.
I mean, Green's one of the most exciting players in college football, isn't it? I mean, just because of his ability to do that, to make those plays, to throw on the run, to tiptoe up a sideline. I don't say this just because I'm covering Arkansas. You watch Taylor Green, I think you're watching one of the most exciting athletes in the sport right now. And I do think you'll get a chance to watch him next year too, which I hope that there's a major improvement in accuracy this year. But I do think with Green, who knows how much he improves, but the sky can be the limit with him.
Well, he's fun. He's still got to complete more passes. Now, we had this conversation before the season started. I said my question about Green is he going to be a 54, 55% completion guy? Or can he get better? Well, right now he's struggling to get to that number. But then I said, can he use his feet to make up for the lack of completion percentages, or can he get the ball downfield? And my goodness, he's done that. I had to go back, and I don't know about you guys. I watched that touchdown pass to Satania 4 or 5 times, and I kept rewinding it. I wanted to see where he was on the field. He threw that ball 64 yards with a flick of his wrist with his body drifting to the sideline effortlessly. There's not a lot of guys that can do that. And whether your completion percentage is lower than it needs to be, there's some dynamics, there's some tools there that really get me excited. And maybe we're grading a bit on the curve because Arkansas has struggled so dearly to find someone in that position for the last X number of years that could do things that he can do. But it has been fun to watch, and he gave his team a chance to win not only at Oklahoma State, but obviously he's won the other games.
Yeah, when you're getting blitz, you can beat it with the pass, or you can negate it with the run. And I think sometimes he might get lost with his eyes looking at the rush because he's a young quarterback. You have a couple free rushers early, and so you're doing that, and then you're trying to scan back to the defense. But he's so good if he does see that free runner, he makes you miss, and he is able to make a play. Hey, Brett, I wanted to get into a little bit of the UNLV stuff. I don't know how much of the UNLV, how much of this have you seen?
Enough to know that it's not the only time that we're going to have to deal with this in college sports. I don't even know what to make of it, Matt. I mean, if you were an FCS quarterback and you wanted to have success and you wanted to go and finish your college career in an NFL stadium for a program that has a chance to compete for the playoff and make a little bit of money and get your school paid for, to me, that sounds like a hell of a deal. And I will say that, he will probably get paid more by somebody else next year, but is he going to find a situation where he can start? That's not guaranteed. Is he going to find a place where the kid can maybe compete to win 9-10 games or be in the playoff? That's not guaranteed. But it's kind of the world we live in right now, and I'm an old guy. I guess I have a hard time with some of this right now, this pay for play and the leverage and the dynamics. But we better get used to it because I think we're going to see this in other sports and in other sports in college football, other leagues that aren't the SEC or Big Ten that can come up with these payroll demands that change.
But here's where football is different than the others. you play one game in baseball, one game in basketball. I think most of the other sports, if not all of them, you burned your red shirt. That's it. Football, you get 4 games. So we've been used to, for how long now, like 15 years, opt-outs for bowl games. You've just gotten used to it. You might not like it, but you know it's coming. Now you got to get used to redshirt week, 4 weeks into the season.
yeah.
Look, I mean, it happened at USC. It happened at UNLV. 2 players from UNLV.
It's like an
Mississippi
extension of the
State.
portal almost.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You got to get used to this. Every last week of September, every year now until the rules change, this will be happening.
No, you're right. And it may be something that they have to adjust and adapt. It gave a kid a chance to play early and then maybe late during a bowl game and not burn that year. And I kind of liked it, but what it's turned into now is leverage. I think we would be shocked, guys. I think we would be stunned to go around college football and look at the number of teams that have had to renegotiate after spring practice and have had to renegotiate at the end of the year. Want more money. I need this. If I don't get more money, I'm leaving. Now we're seeing it in season. And now it's becoming much more relevant. I think it would probably stun us, whether it's agents, whether it's parents, whether it's handlers, I don't know, that are trying to constantly renegotiate. This is the part that would drive me bananas as a head coach. I'm trying to figure out how to pay kids, how to keep everybody happy, try and build a roster. They're constantly leaving and transferring, but now I got kids that probably should be here and want to be here that want more money that I can't afford or I haven't budgeted for. And I don't know if we'll see this with basketball and other sports, but I think we will. But he thought he had some leverage as a quarterback starting on a 3-0 team, but it's just been a mess. I just feel that we're going to have more of these situations, and if it happens for our school and our team that we follow, it's a little more painful than looking at UNLV or some of the other teams. But this will not be the last.
You need some type of players union. Is there going to be is it going to be like a Big 12 where they represent baseball, basketball, football? SEC has their own. Is it going to be back under the umbrella of the NCAA? Then is it all a college football, all a college sports? But these kids, they got to have some type of protection. There has to be some type of players union.
No, you're onto something, Matt, and I think that's why this House settlement is being held up. I think while they're having to cough up $20 million a year in theory, what they're trying to do on the back end is cap this, the pay-for-play and the collectives, and make it go through the schools. But the problem with that, and as much as I think that's a good concept, the players don't collectively bargain. You're talking about 18 to 20-year-old kids that don't have someone at the negotiating table looking not just for the settlement, but 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road, or what is a fair assessment for a commercial or an autograph signing. And I think that's the issue that's going to hold this up, because there isn't somebody collectively bargaining. What the NCAA or whether the schools are trying to take it right now on the backside and really get beat down, and then a few years down the road start getting this back under control because they've kind of put the players in a box. But I think that's what this is being held up for right now, because there is no collective bargaining, and they don't know how to do this with kids because you have 85 or 100 different individuals, and they aren't under one union like they are in Major League Baseball or NFL. So that's just another one of the fun off-the-field situations that I don't know how it gets rectified.
All right, I'm going to speak like a member of the airline industry here. Brett, how far along are they in the boarding process currently?
It's slow, right? I get on early, so we're about 80%, but we're still lumbering on right now. So,
do you turn your cell phone off as soon as they tell you to, or do you get a little bit of like a devilish satisfaction just keeping the cell phone on until the signal disappears?
Well, maybe somewhere in between. I don't mind pushing it just a little bit, but at times when I'm on these 5 a.m. flights, I'm quite willing to turn it off and try and sleep and try and catch a few Z's before I take off for Dallas or Chicago or someplace else.
Yeah, we can hear the boarding process behind you there. Do you still need help on learning how to put the seatbelt on?
No, I'm good on that. I'm good on the seatbelt and good on most of the airline regulations. I feel like I'm an old hat at least.
All right, Brett, we'll leave it there. Safe travels. Make sure you ask for the entire can of soda when they bring them around, okay?
I will do so, guys. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully the Hogs can get a W in Arlington.
Thanks, Brett.
World traveler and incredibly polite flight person, Brett Dolan here with us on Halftime. He's a good traveler, but it's like I would be really I don't like being around people when I'm on the phone. If I'm doing a radio interview, I'm not doing it on an airplane. That just shows you Brett is an 11 out of 10 when it comes to being a pro.
Do you want the can, sir? the cancer. No, the cancer.
If you're craving something sweet and delicious and you want to get something for your friends when you got them coming over for the Southwest Classic this Saturday, Andy's Frozen Custard has a pick six that you can take home. Delicious. It helps you satisfy your sweet tooth, and they'll have you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Andy's Frozen Custard's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, East Oak Street and Dave Ward Drive in Conway, and on JFK in North Little Rock. Andy's Frozen Custard, perfect game time treat. Walk up or drive through, they're always ready to serve you. Get on with us on halftime, 877-377-6963. We are back in just a moment.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
This is Halftime.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You went uptown in your limousine with your all gathered clothes. You had the dark hair in your hand, split up your nose. Ooh, when you wake up in the morning with your head on fire, too bloody to see. Don't come bitching to me, because you had to be a big shot, did you? You had to open up your mouth. You had to be a big shot, did you? All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Got some football on TV tonight for those who are interested. 3-0 Army at 1-3 Temple in a big American Conference battle on ESPN at 6:30. NFL Thursday night prime video featuring two 1-2 teams in an NFC East Division fight. Cowboys at the Giants. Cowboys have won 6 straight and 13 of the last 14 against the Giants and outscored them 87-17 in 2 games last year. Daniel Jones says they're going to get better against them.
I think, I've, played more, seen more, I think, studied and improved. So obviously didn't go great last time, but we're confident. It's a new team. We're a new team. They're a new team, and we're excited for the opportunity.
So I'm not sure if you could just hear in his voice there, but I didn't believe a word he just said. Not one.
It looked like quarterbacks are the first artificial intelligence. Now, you go back the last 30 years and listen to quarterbacks, and that's AI evolving. I gained nothing from that. There was nothing at all that you're not any smarter.
What is it that you're supposed to say when they ask you a question after getting the floor wiped with your face by that franchise by a margin of 70 points in 2 games from last year? But you can definitely go by at least the sound of his voice. I do not think Daniel Jones believed what he was saying. Here's Mike McCarthy on where the Cowboys need to improve running routes.
Well, I mean, we're emphasizing it, but it's been more classroom and video, and just because of the nature of playing a Thursday game. So I mean, we've had our opportunity to do the self-scout, the preliminary component of the yesterday's meeting, but today's really, we're kind of on a Thursday type schedule, just to make sure that we have everything situational in. So we'll do some individual route running after the work today, just to make sure we get the tempo and the timing down on any type of wrinkle that we're going to use Thursday night.
So there's your Thursday night battle. You'll have a couple of Monday night games as well. Titans, Dolphins, Seahawks, and Lions. It's one of the only matchups where you get a couple of winning teams going up against each other. Chiefs and Chargers also playing on CBS in the middle of the day on Sunday. I wonder about Justin Herbert's availability. He did not look right when he was out there for Los Angeles against Pittsburgh last week. Of course, he didn't even finish the game. And then, you got what is going on here with Travis Kelce? We were wondering what's up with Luke Hasz. Haven't targeted him very much. And Travis Kelce has how many catches here? 8 receptions in the first 3 games. Everybody wants to point to the idea, Matt, that it's Taylor's fault, that it is the relationship's fault. What about the idea that maybe Kelce's just getting a little bit older? It's tough to be as good as he's been for this long. He's 34 years old.
Yeah, I think I even brought this up last year. He's at the end, and Father Time, that's who defeats all. He's still a talent. His separation, he was never like the most swift or a foot, no pun intended, but he he's like a Luke Haas almost, where our Tesla, like his hands are but he catches everything, man. He has really good, strong hands. He's athletic, he's tough, he's physical. But I think you're exactly right. It's just the wear and tear of being in the league for over a decade and all the games you played. So to win it, they did this stat with LeBron James, and you see how he's still going, but they added up his playoff minutes. It's like he's played more playoff minutes than half the people have played regular season minutes. Same thing with Kelsey. He's played a lot of big playoff minutes, a lot of big games. I just think you're seeing a kind of a wounded warrior out there. I just don't think he has much left in the tank.
Nelson has given us a call. Always fun to talk with Nelson, who is in Harrison. What's up, Nelson?
Hey,
How are you?
guys. Man, it's a beautiful day, and I think it's going to be a great weekend. I mean, we're going the right direction. I mean, we may not be running the race as fast as we can, but I feel like we're going toward our destination here with this team. And I just want to say something, guys. With all this stuff happening at UNLV, it makes you really appreciate the people that our coaches have brought in. Taylor Green, JaQuindon Jackson, those guys were on winning teams, and they wanted to play in the SEC and test their mettle, and you can tell that they really appreciate the opportunity, and I really love that about our team and about our leaders. Andrew Armstrong, Taylor Green, JaQuindon Jackson, they're all very appreciative of the opportunity to prove themselves and to make a name for themselves. And, guys, I got something that just grinds my gears with this going on the way it is right now. What really gets me aggravated is knowing that Courtney Crutchfield went to Missouri on promises that he ain't getting made up to him because he ain't even got to play in the garbage game. And we can use him. I just want to know what you guys think about that. And have a great day, guys,
That's
and
an
go
interesting
Hogs.
point. I'd not paid attention to how often Crutchfield been on the field, but I mean that is a good point. I think there's an obvious amount of chemistry for this team in the way that they talk about things. But I remember, you walk through the players' parking lot at games last year, and there was at least one car that stood out from everybody else. I don't have that sense walking through the players' parking lot, even though we've only had the one home game. The money was a separator last year in the locker room. I think they've done their due diligence, Matt, to try to ensure that. And look, you're getting a quarterback's going to be paid more than anybody else probably as far as this is concerned in the age of NIL.
You're going to have to double Taylor Green's salary next year.
Well, that's part of it too. Like, this is another thing that goes along with it. You bring somebody back for another year after he had a good first year. Yes, you're expecting it's not a 2-year contract where we sign this and you're making the same each year over the 2 years. I think you hit the nail on the head there, Matt. There's renegotiation like every year.
And we were talking about Travis Kelce a little bit, Phil. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's an absolute stud. It's just that's kind of what happens at the end of your career.
But also, it's so easy to blame the relationship and the famous performer. I don't think that's what it's about.
They just won a Super Bowl. He has one of the coolest mustaches since Tom Selleck. I think he's doing all right.
He didn't look very happy though on the sidelines the other day because somebody that's used to getting open, making big plays, isn't doing that right now. So he's A-OK, 100% on the love life, but off the field and on the sideline, it's like things are changing for him in a way that it does for a lot of mid-30s football players. All right, we are right up against a break. We'll be back in just a moment, wrap up our second hour. It's halftime on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app.
Matt Jones, don't be so cool, dude.
This is halftime.
Did your 6 weeks with your kids this summer fly by? Is your ex on another tropical vacation while you're working 2 jobs to pay your child support? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Arkansas law on custody and child support has changed, and those changes could benefit you. So stop scrolling through her vacation pictures and protect your rights today. Call me at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Your Honor, my son deserves this kid.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Check out the new Wacker Newson ST45 at Sharp Equipment. It's bigger, bolder, and is ideal for lifting and loading. The vertical path lift arm allows for easy load placement in demanding applications where reach and height is a requirement. For compact, heavy equipment with a great deal of power, visit them and check out the new Wacker Newson lineup at Sharp Equipment. 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Or call them at 479-242-1406.
Attention restaurant owners, managers, food service directors, and anyone getting ready to open a new restaurant soon. Don't miss Tankersley's Foods 80th Anniversary 2024 Fall Food Show on Wednesday, October the 2nd at the Fort Smith Convention Center. See, taste, and try items available for your menu starting at 9 a.m. Expand your knowledge with educational seminars starting at 8 a.m. It's the 80th Anniversary 2024 Fall Food Show, Wednesday, October 2nd at the Fort Smith Convention Center. Go to tankersleyfoods.com for details.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their ham-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith now has meal deals starting at $9.99, which includes an entree, side, and fountain drink. Try their delicious 6-ounce sirloin served with seasoned fries for $15.99. The Bacon Ranch Chicken Sandwich with seasoned fries, $11.99. Chicken Caesar Salad for $10.99 and more. Their meal deals also include tasty chicken fettuccine Alfredo served with garlic breadsticks for $12.99 and a cheeseburger with seasoned fries for only $9.99. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Three, take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. So fine that I really want to make you mine.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
As we wrap up hour number 2, we're going to go right to the phones, and I don't know what to do with myself when Charlie calls at the end of an hour because we're so used to it being about, 50 minutes earlier than right now. Charlie, you're late. You okay?
Everything's good, Phil. I mean, I think lately I've just kind of been mixing it up a little bit. I know it's not allowed. I know I'm gonna have to pay my fine and all of that.
3 hours to do it. It's just, we fall into patterns, and people that are paid to pay attention to those things notice them. So I
The
just worry.
Pavlov theory.
That's exactly right. I'm
Start
salivating
salivating.
for Charlie at 12 o'clock every day.
Well, I just appreciate it, Phil, and I know you salivate for Eddie too, and all of his screams and all of the. It's just, I know, I get it.
Maybe more like an upset stomach, I think.
Eddie's great though, but I will say this. Hey, Matt, you were talking about Kelsey a little bit, and you too, Phil. I think at some point though, we are going to see Kelsey have like a Kelsey-like game at some point. And I also wonder too, guys, with Andy Reid, you know, some of these receivers have stepped up too, and they're 3-0, and they're able to run the football. Could they be saving him a little bit or using him more as a decoy? I haven't watched him as much. I think Kelsey still got a little bit left. I know he's not what he was, but there's going to be some games, some big games, a playoff game. Guy's going to have a great game. I just feel that. That's just me. And he may be done after this year. Didn't he and his bro sign like a $100 million? I think it's like $100 million for their podcast, right?
He's not playing football for the money anymore, that's for sure.
No, he ain't. No doubt. And the whole Taylor Swift thing, that's stupid. That has nothing to do with it. They won the Super Bowl last year. That's dumb. I have no idea why people bring that up. But I wanted to ask you, Matt, Travis Hunter, I was thinking a lot of people got him kind of more projected as a corner. Do you think he's someone with his ability, you know, he can play both sides, obviously, but I just feel like at the next level, I don't know if you can do that and the amount and the percentage that you do it. Could he have some leverage in this upcoming draft? Because if 15 teams see you this way and another 15 or 16 see you the other way, could he possibly have some leverage in this upcoming draft of where he winds up just because of that ability? Anyways, I'll hang up and listen.
Good to talk to you, Charlie.
Yeah, he's a talented kid. You know, you wonder about his size. You know, on the defensive side, making tackles. You know, he's not really going to be on the field to make tackles, but you know, you have to. You got to make tackles. His hands are what his instincts. I mean, he made that goal line tackle that popped the ball loose against Baylor last week that won him the game. It's just whatever a team wants. I think he will. It won't be a Shohei Ohtani thing with Travis Williams. Travis Hunter. It's going to be there. He's going to have to kind of choose. They'll have some packages for him to do both things. But at that level, he's either going to be a cornerback or a receiver, and I think he's a cornerback. Like if I'm drafting him to my team, 100%, he's my cornerback. He's my cover corner, and then we'll try to throw a couple plays, give him a package on the offensive side.
You and Richard Sherman have almost the same idea about this, because he said the same thing. You know, I'm not saying you're copying him, but I think both of you guys know what you're talking about with this and looking at him as a corner instead of a receiver. Hour number 3 of Halftime fast approaching, so stay with us.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. 5-gallon fruit trees, oak, and maple trees, only $26.97. That's a savings of $9 per tree. Get a DeWalt 20-volt max brushed compact drill and impact driver kit with 2 batteries, carrying case, and bonus bit set for only $159 with your Ace Rewards card. Find more everyday low prices online at JagersHardware.com.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911. In addition to AOG, remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a high in the upper 70s to near 80. We'll start to see some changes moving away tonight. Area of low pressure could touch off just a few showers. Our overnight lows will drop down into the upper 50s. Rainfall moves in from Helene on Friday, our high in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got to take it here. Nothing respect if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house. The dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back for our third hour halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. 1 minute after the top of the hour, I'm Phil Elson along with the one and only Matt Jones and C45 Colton Little producing. No guests, so just you and us for these last 60 minutes. 877-377-6963. Matt, we brought it up with Brett Dolan about 40 minutes ago. If you missed the conversation with the world traveler who was boarding his airplane when he was on the phone with us, it's on the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast. It'll be coming out in about an hour. It is redshirt season time now. That's what this is, and we have to just get used to it. You remember when, it was who was the former quarterback? Kelly Bryant, former quarterback at Clemson. He was the first guy that I remember that took advantage of the portal during the season, went on his own free agency tour. You remember him being at the Arkansas game, and fans, I think he was in the student section. They were trying to do everything they could to make him decide to come to Arkansas. He did not. He ended up going to Missouri. And that was kind of a sign of things to come, not necessarily free agency tours, but players switching teams, which we weren't used to then. We're not used to players basically declaring themselves that they're going to redshirt. But that's what we got to get used to now. We've seen it with Matthew Sluka, not just redshirting, but I think if you basically announce I'm redshirting, that means I'm leaving the team too. You're going into the portal. It happened with I think it was UNLV's third-string running back, Bear Alexander, a former 5-star recruit who had started his career at Georgia. He's been at USC now for a little more than a season or so. He's now decided to go into the portal. He says he's redshirting. He's not happy with his playing time, so he's the next one. He's in his third year. He's about to be on his third team with whomever it is does sign him. Mississippi State receiver Creed Whitemore played in 12 games last year, and after 4 games this year, he has declared that he is going to be redshirting and therefore going into the portal. I'm sure there are some others that have done this too. But we're going to have to get used to this. Whenever you get to the 4th week of the season in college football, it is almost exactly like the week after the regular season ends, and you start to hear about all the opt-outs for bowl games, which I don't even remember the first player to say he's opting out. And of course that has more to do with being ready for the NFL draft and the combine and all of that. But now we have to get used to opt-out season. Now it's redshirt season, self-declared redshirt season, and this be kind of a defining characteristic of late September across the nation.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be some rules and regulations. I think it's a case-by-case deal, Phil, because when you quit on your teammates, that's I just find that hard when you get into the portal and you want to go somewhere else and play. It's kind of in your mind. I mean, but you get it if you want your red shirt year. I don't know why you have to get in the portal. I don't know why you don't stay in practice, run scout team. You're getting away from the game. So everything is a case by case, but when you look at how Coach Pittman does it, I wonder, that would be a question I would ask for him, is when they're scouting and they're evaluating the portal, how much do they delve into their past? How much do they kind of look and see, well, did he quit on his teammates with 5 games to go? Did he not necessarily the bowl game? I get that. I'm not as much as far as the bowl game is concerned. But man, you've been through camp, you've been through everything, regular season, you gotta, I don't know. I just find it hard when you quit on your teammates and don't even run scout team. There's still stuff you can do to help the team win just because you're not happy with your playing time. It'd still be good to be there and work your craft.
Well, it'll be interesting to follow Bear Alexander and where he goes next and what school gives him the opportunity, because he was one of the top defensive recruits in the nation when he came out of Terrell, Texas 3 years ago. He's got the body type, 6'3", 315.
He might not play. He might be going, if it's 3 years removed from high school, he might just be going.
No, so it's an interesting aspect and maybe a difference between how pro scouts or pro front offices would view this kid and other colleges who are depending upon him. If you sign him, you're depending upon him adhering to the idea of staying with you for an entire season. Do you think pro teams and college teams or the front offices of both sides view this topic differently?
Well, you're giving kids a lot of money and they're quitting on their teammates. What's going to happen when I give you more money to play in in a tougher division, a tougher league, and you're going to make, 3-5 times as much money as what you're making in the NIL? How are you going to act? I do. I think they ask all sorts of questions. I know one of the teams, I can't remember what team it was, Phil, but they had called like my 4th grade or 5th grade teacher, like really? they go in, they ask stuff that doesn't even need to be asked, but then they just go and kind of, man, it's an investment. When you're investing millions of dollars into another human, you go and you try to find out what you can and see if this is if it's a good investment.
So do you think, in this case, do you think that a college team may call the 5th grade teacher to find out about him? Or do you know everything you need? Because I keep hearing if a guy can play, if he's got all the measurables, then someone's going to give him a chance. But here's an instance of somebody who, and I don't know what happened with him at Georgia, but I'm not going to say that he quit on that team. But it doesn't look like he was playing all that much for USC. And keep in mind, USC previously has been a defensively challenged team. So I do wonder if any scouts will say, you weren't even playing at USC. What are we going to try to do with you here as far as professional football is concerned? But I'd be really interested to see the next school that, I don't know if I'd even say gives Bear Alexander the chance to play, or they view it as they have the chance to go be the next one to try this 5-star and see if it works out for them. It's probably the way that they'll be looking at it. Super 64 guy has called us up. If you want to do that, 877-377-6963. Super 64, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for the call, Phil. Yeah, I want to make a couple of comments regarding what y'all are talking about. The thing is, and it all started back kind of with Jaden Rashada at Florida, if you remember, a few years ago, and he's in a big lawsuit now against the University of Florida and Billy Napier. But the thing with this Luka guy, he's saying, and he said, she said kind of deal, but did Barry Odom, whom we all respect, did they actually come up with what they promised the kid, and that's the thing. And it's going to get down to where each and every one of them need to have a contract with an agent or somebody to represent them. And because a lot of this is going to go to court. Like I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, that's why I have this system set that I'm doing called Super 64 about the 64 teams. And the winds of change in college football are moving in that direction. Like you said, it may take, more than a decade, but, it's kind of like the old saying, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Once this started, who knows where it's going to end. So thanks a lot, guys.
What ends up happening here is that you have to have, if it's 64 or however many schools, it's that they know what the playing field is, which means they know how much money they're going to need to set aside to actually put together a Division I FBS or a Super 64 college football team. And so you got to know what the lay of the land is before any of that happens. And as far as this deal with Sluka, from my understanding, there was never a written contract involved in this. And Sluka's family is trying to make the case that the offensive coordinator said, if you play for us, we'll give you $100,000. And they agreed to that in a conversation so that there's a verbal contract involved with this. But I think in that case, you need some sort of like a third party to confirm that that offer was made and agreed upon. And I don't think that has happened with this. So there is the he said, she said that we were dealing with about this yesterday, but more details have come through. And I just don't know if a verbal contract from an offensive coordinator, because it would be the head coach that would have the final say about this. And if you didn't get it on paper, what are you doing here? Are you going to agree to go work for somebody based upon just a handshake deal in this sport? In this slimy sport, we're going to actually take a handshake deal? Give me a break.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It was probably hard enough to get kids to come out to UNLV to play for the Running Rebs. It's going to be harder now. All that does is just wave through the portal and through these kids' minds. There's going to be questions that are going to have to be answered and questions that will be asked. But UNLV just went to the bottom. No, people aren't going to just want it. This is coming out like this. And what'd you say? A third string running back did the same thing. I just think they mishandled it. I don't know how you handle it better, but you kind of got to take a page out of Coach Neighbor's book. Has a tight back, not going to be able to play anymore. But she's gone. You just got to. You bring it up like this and the way they do it, it's not going to be good for UNLV going forward.
877-377-6963. If you got any thoughts about that in this NIL world, stay with Halftime. We'll be back right after this break.
This is Halftime.
On second down, the give is to Felix Jones on an end around. Jones to the 30 to 40. Jones in midfield. He may go. 25 to 20. 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Felix Jones goes 72 yards. The Razorbacks increase their lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Pay attention. This happens fast. Routine, scheduled, maintenance. You know it's coming one day, but that day's in the future. Then the future comes, and your wallet's not ready for that $250 maintenance. But your forklift is. It needs it. Good thing you're smart. You're buying a used forklift from Medley Equipment Company this summer, and its first planned maintenance will be free because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm Branch Manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Hey, it's Zach from the Ruskin and Zach Show. Join us Friday, September 27th from 2 to 6 as we broadcast live overlooking the 15th green at the Choctaw Club at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. We'll have interviews with some of the best players in the world and other special guests, and we'll do it all from the best way to enjoy the golfing weekend from the Choctaw Club overlooking the 15th green. Join us, Ruskin and Zach, live from the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship overlooking the 15th green at the Choctaw Club, Friday, September 27th.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Attention restaurant owners, managers, food service directors, and anyone getting ready to open a new restaurant soon. Don't miss Tankersley's Foods 80th Anniversary 2024 Fall Food Show on Wednesday, October the 2nd at the Fort Smith Convention Center. See, taste, and try items available for your menu starting at 9 a.m. Expand your knowledge with educational seminars starting at 8 a.m. It's the 80th Anniversary 2024 Fall Food Show, Wednesday, October 2nd at the Fort Smith Convention Center. Go to tankersleyfoods.com for detail.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3001 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Hey, Matt, you ever hear of a baseball player named Charlie Blackmon?
Yeah, he played for the Rockies.
Still plays for the Rockies. Actually, he's about to retire.
I've seen him play live. I've seen him play because I've told you I've been to about 4 or 5 Rockies games. He was a center fielder one time. He was a stud, yeah.
I need you to look, so he's about to retire. I need you to look up the progression of Charlie Blackmon's beard, because if he's going to retire, he's going to have to shave this thing off. I remember watching Blackmon when he played in the Texas League with the Tulsa Drillers, and he was a fresh-faced, baby-faced kind of a looking guy. And man, I don't think he has shaved it's been 10 years, because he's never shaved since 2014. And now that you're not playing any longer, now might be the time, you know.
I thought his name might be Chuck Nasty, but it's Chuck Nasty.
Chuck Nasty with a Z. I love it. We have our own Chuck Nasty.
That's
here
right.
On ESPN
We got our
Arkansas.
own.
That's right. But that's with an S, not with a Z. Rod in Fayetteville. Thanks for the phone call, Rod. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to throw this out there. In both cases, it's third-hand information, but the Jason Brown show this morning, who's apparently close to Barry Odom, and I've got a friend that's kind of tied or has connections to the program. They both said that the kid was getting the NIL money promised, that $100K, but the kid started 3-0, and went to him and said the going rate right now for someone doing what I'm doing is 300 to 400,000, and he had been told he can get that if he transfers. So he basically went to Vegas and said, "Hey, I want more money, or I might get out of here."
It's a business
and if that's
move,
the
right?
Case, do what? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's his prerogative to do that, but I mean,
But
you
that's
know, if he
also
agreed to
different from
100
what the details of what his father has said, where it was like we were promised 100,000, all we got was 3,000 for a charity appearance, and then nothing after that. And so the way that they've presented it, meaning the player side, is that we didn't get what we were offered, what was agreed to, and when we went to ask for it, we were told no.
Well, I heard the kid's trying to change the deal midstream, but who knows the truth? I mean, maybe it's somewhere in the middle. Hey, the other comment I had, and you know, with all the NIL, it is kind of nice to see the schools worried about paying the players now instead of building gold-plated water fountains everywhere, like like was going on before that. But any athletic director that extends a non-national title-winning coach more than 2 years out is an idiot. Because here's the deal: the coaches used to go to the ADs and go, "Hey, my guys want security. They want to come here and know I'm going to be here." Now the players don't care. And there's no reason for any coach to have 4 or 5 years out on a contract, because all this stuff can change on a dime. And, you know, that reason of doing that is no longer there. And, you know, I don't know, you know, why they would do that any longer, because the kid, it's not going to mean that jack anything to the kids being recruited. The only thing they're going to,
Rod, to your
care about
point,
is money.
to your point, if athletic departments are looking to cut expenses, the top expense for Arkansas for a while was buyouts. Like if you say, so the coaches got all these buyouts in their contracts because that's what the market demanded. That is the case. The market has changed. The amount of available money to these coaches for when they do get let go, I think, has changed too. And it might be different school to school. But if we're talking about cutting expenses, and you're looking at travel, and you're looking at salaries for administrators, and you're looking at, like you said too, Rod, gold-plated water fountains and everything. And Yurichek even said yesterday at the Hogs Illustrated Lunch Club that the renovation of Bud Walton Arena and to Razorback Field and to Bogle Park has been put on the side burner, not on the back burner, but certainly not in the level of importance that it was before this conversation all started. That's a big expense too. But buyouts are a huge expense. So that has to be, I don't think it's something that Arkansas is dealing with right now in terms of football, but they did for quite a while. Heck, they were paying 2 buyouts at the same time at one point. That felt like when you were playing with Monopoly money. It's not Monopoly money anymore.
No, I totally agree. I just, you know, there's just no reason to ever be put in that spot again unless your athletic director is a dodo. So hopefully ours isn't. But
well, it's the length of the contracts and the money, and you know that really leads to the buyouts too, is when it comes to it. So it's an interesting point to make there, Rod, and I appreciate you calling up. 877-377-6963 when it comes down to it here. And yeah, that's right. I mean, I 10 years ago, when the SEC had more money coming into it, I mean, I think, and I don't know the dollar figures, but I think if you were to look at the amount of money that came into the SEC before the SEC network took hold, and then after, and you look at all of the renovations to football stadiums, baseball parks, basketball arenas, and it's filtered down to the other sports too, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, all of it. A lot of the money went into facilities. It's not going to happen for the time being. You're talking about a $22 million hole to pay players directly, but that still doesn't have anything to do with NIL in that case. It's that's still a little bit different. But he's right too. It's all about expenses. You got to grow your revenues. Tennessee's doing that through a 10% surtax on football tickets. You also got to cut your expenses, and I think a big expense is the buyout. And the first college athletic director to not put a buyout in a contract is probably going to be in a fight with that agent. He's going to have to fight for it. 'Cause
I
I
mean,
think that's what it's about.
I'm telling you what, if Coach Pittman beats Texas A&M and then we beat Tennessee, you know who's going to get a contract extension that bye week? Absolutely. He finds a way to beat let's don't get too far ahead of ourselves, but he beats A&M and then we beat Tennessee at home. That's what your agent's for. Coach Pittman will get a contract extension.
Yeah, I think you're right. But the question would be then, so how lengthy is the extension?
I don't know what he has left
2
on his deal.
years?
Do you just add a couple years on his deal?
But usually that goes an extension goes along with added buyout money, and so that would be the thing to look at. And of course, you could find out because of FOI. So, I mean, that's we talk about the buyouts and everything as market value, and that everybody's asking for them. So if you don't give a coach a buyout, he'll go find somebody else to work for and get the buyout there. The market's changed. The market's changed completely. And not necessarily the amount of money coaches will make to coach the team, but the amount of money that they may end up making to not coach the team. 877-377-6963 to get with us on anything about that. Switching gears here, Matt, did you see Derrick Rose announced his retirement from the NBA?
OG.
16 seasons. And, I mean, what did he win an MVP in his third year? And then the knee injury the year after that? And barely played for a couple of seasons. He was still good afterwards. He just couldn't be on the court for more than, I think the most he played after the injury was 50, 51 games in a season. And is it one of those careers, Matt, that he had a good career, but you can't help but wonder what would have been without the knee injuries?
Yeah, I mean, the type of player, he was kind of Russell Westbrook before Russell Westbrook. He's just so athletic, man. Like kind of like better, if you remember Stevie Franchise from Maryland when he came, just an undersized guard, but kind of like what Ja Morant is, played above the rim. As an undersized guard early, just big. I mean, just strong and physical. Like he was power, man. He was fun. He was an absolute. I guess to your question is yes, because he would have been a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer looking at his career now. But if he wouldn't have got hurt, but a healthy Derrick Rose, I'm taking 100 times out of 100 times over a healthy Russell Westbrook. And Westbrook might end up getting into the Hall of Fame because he averaged a triple-double for a couple years. But, yeah, if he didn't get hurt, I think he would have been a for sure Hall of Famer, Phil.
And Cal put out a lengthy tweet about Derrick Rose, and apparently the two of them talked about this decision a few days before he made the announcement. And this is right out of Cal's tweet. He says, quote, "He was a coach's dream, authentic, and always trying to make it about other people," and that goes back to his high school days. He was shy, an introvert, and one of the most competitive players with an unending will to win. He had one gear, and anyone who played against him would know what I'm saying. So that comes right, of course, from Arkansas basketball coach John Calipari, and that's about the best player that he ever coached before he was at the University of Kentucky.
Yeah, that Memphis team, if they could have shot free throws, that's your national champion right there. They just, the free throw bug got them.
Still got a few days left to enjoy the great specials at Fish City Grill. Jalapeno bacon mahi tacos comes with grilled mahi, sweet chipotle aioli, cheddar jack cheese, and pico. Your sides are black beans and white rice. Salmon tabbouleh, a few days left to enjoy that. Fresh dill, tzatziki, and quinoa. Patio weather, perfect right now. Great place to go out there and enjoy the patio. And you can call your Fish City Grill in Rogers for pickup or delivery, 479-636-8833, or just visit them at South Bellevue Road in Rogers. That's Fish City Grill, fishcitygrill.com to get a look at the menu. You can also put an order in online. And back into the home stretch of halftime right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick 'em, you win 'em.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too. And so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with always on energy. Visit AOGC.com.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Make sure you have everything you need for the game this weekend by stopping at Four Corks Wine and Spirits. Choose from a wide selection of bourbons and whiskeys, craft beers, and a great selection of the coldest imports in town. Take advantage of the walk-in humidor for an A-list of cigars. Everything you need and more for the games is at Four Corks Wine and Spirits, just past the intersection of Mazard and Zero Street toward Ben Guerin Park. Now on Uber Eats and DoorDash.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
The American Patriot Promotions Gun Show is coming to Cabot Saturday, October 12th through Sunday, October 13th. On Saturday, doors are open from 9 a.m. to 5 and Sunday from 9 to 3. Tickets are just $10 per person, $8 for children 16 and under are free. American Patriot Promotions, providing the #1 gun shows in Arkansas. Check us out, AmericanPatriotPromotions.com for other events and details.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Born as a hick down the W in the race car track. I was born as a TV dim as a lazy man's crack. I was born in the 40s when they both suited up for man. To food space and be happy, you never had to laugh. Drinking whiskey on a Sunday afternoon. lost your chance, and you took rid of your wrong.
I'm with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, today is the last sporting event or major league sporting event ever in the Oakland Coliseum. The A's and the Rangers wrapping it up. Got to give away some tickets to see Pam Tillis and Killer Bees this weekend in Branson. So we'll use a little Oakland athletics trivia for that. Let's see. What Oakland A's pitcher won 20 games 4 years in a row? I think there's only one of them that ever did that. I don't know many pitchers that ever won 20 games 4 years in a row, but I do know of one of them that did it. I'm not going to give you the years or the era or the decade. I will tell you that the guy's nickname was Smoke, which has to be one of the best nicknames.
So it's not Barry Zito then.
No, it is not.
Yeah, he had the 12-6 looper. So yeah. What about you're not giving? Okay, I'm not going to guess anymore.
Well, no guesses just yet. We need it on the text line at 877-377-6963, and you also got to be able to go to the shows, which are Pam Tillis Friday and Killer Bees, who, by the way, we're going to have Killer Bees on the show tomorrow to talk a little bit about this. And I think his last name is close to Bees, so I'm just going to call him Mr. Bees. Tickets are available right now if you text us the answer here at 877-377-6963. All right, we got 2 wrong answers so far. Raleigh Fingers never won 20 games for the A's. He was their closer. And Vida Blue did not win 20 games 4 consecutive years. And there we have our correct answer that has just come in. The correct answer, Nick in Centerton sent it in. Dave Stewart won 20 games 4 years in a row and did not win a Cy Young Award in either of them. And then he became Stewart's one of the guys that's interesting because he's one of the rare players who became a general manager of a team and left to then become an agent. It's just playing both sides of it here. And so the year Stewart won 20 games in a row, 20 in 4 years in a row, 87 through 1990. And, I mean, he was as durable as anybody. I mean, he led the league in innings pitched twice, 275 and 2/3 innings 1 year. I mean, nobody throws anything close to that right now. And he actually completed 14 games and 11 games in the years that he won 20. That's some old school pitching right there.
That's 2 titles too, huh?
Well, one championship. It would have been 89.
Yeah.
No, it was 80. It was 89. That's right. Yeah, the A's those years, man, that was some exciting teams. They had Ricky Henderson. They had Carney Lansford. They had Canseco.
The Bash Brothers,
McGuire, Terry Steinbach at catcher. Bob Welch was the guy that won the Cy Young Award in 1990 because he won 27 games for the Oakland A's that year, and Stewart won 22. Those were some great teams, but they lost to the Oral Hershiser, Kirk Gibson Dodgers in 88. They beat the Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell Giants in 89, and then lost in the World Series in 1990 to the Paul O'Neill, Barry Larkin, Chris Sabo, Eric Davis Cincinnati Reds. So, and then it was like in the 70s, they won 3 championships in a row. So I already saw that some fans ripped seats out of the stadium yesterday. There's still a game left. So somebody owns tickets to seats that don't don't actually exist in that stadium now.
Well, they won't have trouble finding seating. That's
Well, I wonder about that.
I would let it open to the public, but then you're going to have people ravish it, right? Like they're going to not act right. They're going to just be thiever. I mean, it's going to be just a whole bad thing. But you would think that you would be, hey man, it's the last game, open to the public. Bring a soup can or something.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is like their one chance to really make money through the gate. It's the one opportunity this year to make money through ticket sales, and they can fit. If they take off the tarps on the Mount Davis there in the outfield, they could probably fit 60-some thousand inside there. But then they're bringing in 60,000 pissed off Oakland A's fans that are coming in looking to leave their mark on the stadium and get something for themselves. Man, it's going to be an interesting night. But have fun with that. Have you seen about this deal going on with the Mets and the Braves because of the hurricane that's coming in? And the Mets and Braves are both battling for a wild card spot with the Arizona D-backs. They had a 2-game series supposed to start. I think it was tonight and tomorrow. It's already been canceled. And, you know, the regular season, Matt, ends Sunday. They have scheduled both games of this series to be made up Monday in a doubleheader. And then either one of those teams, because you know how the playoffs are set up, will have to play the next day in a playoff after playing 18 innings. And you've kind of wondered if that's not really very good for either of those teams. This would have been a situation where they could have moved the 2-game series either up a couple of days or to some other location that's not dealing with Hurricane Helene. But in that sense, then you're taking away gate from a team, and that's why Rob Manfred is not going to force that. You know, a commissioner in baseball can do almost anything he wants in the idea of doing what's best for the sport of baseball. I don't think it's best for the sport of baseball for 2 playoff teams to have had to play a doubleheader before they even go on the field and play a playoff. But in this case, what Manfred is looking out for is the bottom line of the Braves ownership. And that's it.
Braves, are they a half game out right now? They're right there, huh? It's they're kind of making. Did they have some injuries? I thought here.
Remember they had Acuna out for the whole year.
Yeah, Acuna, because before the All-Star break or whatever, they were one of the favorites to lift the trophy, and now not at all. Dodgers still a favorite to win it this year?
I wonder about their pitching.
Yeah. Who's your favorite right now? If you had to say, man, this is who Yankee. I mean, who would you have if you're like this one team? This is who you like.
I'm still kind of in on the Phillies. I am still kind of in on Philadelphia. I've become a big Bryce Harper fan. You know, if their pitching is able to hold out, and their pitching has held out for most of the year, I think it's tough to pick like a team to beat because you just get hot like Arizona did last year. I don't know anybody that picked Arizona once the playoffs even started to be 1 game short of winning a world championship. It's really difficult. But now let's take that to college football. So if the idea, and you've seen this in the NFL, you've seen this in hockey, you've seen it in Major League Baseball, not so much in the NBA necessarily, but all you got to do is get into the tournament and you've got just as much of a shot as anybody else. No sport says that any better than baseball right now, Major League Baseball and college baseball, where we had an instance of probably the last team making it into the tournament, Ole Miss, won the whole damn thing. Is college football the same? It can't be, because we've gotten from a place where, you know, the thought was, hey, you got a 14 playoff and there's probably just 3 teams when you're watching that have the capability to win it. Now you've expanded the playoff to 12. Are we really to believe that all 12 teams have a shot to win the championship? I'm not too sure about that. But I will say, like, out of the SEC, it does feel to me that any team that makes it out of the SEC will have a chance.
You know, when I saw Tennessee do to Oklahoma, that was brutal. You know, Texas's win against Michigan, it's still a big win. I don't know if it's the best win anymore. When I'm looking at it, if you said this, Phil, if you said Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, Tennessee, I would say, yeah, I could see any one of those 5. That seems like it seems like an awful lot, because usually it's 1 or 2 teams you think is going to win it all. But I like all 5 of those teams.
I like all 5 of those teams too. Yeah, but very soon we'll start to get our eyes on most of these teams outside of Georgia and Alabama. I mean, you're going to see up close Tennessee, Ole Miss, Texas.
How many people you think watch that? That'd be the most watched game so far, right, in college football? I mean, it's a big time. That's as big as it gets.
Georgia, Alabama?
Yeah, as far as
yeah.
I mean, 2 top 5 teams. Both teams probably going to make the playoffs. This is kind of for a bye, because let's say Alabama beats Georgia and Texas runs the table. You know, that's who your SEC championship game is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, look, anytime. But look, think of these brand names here. I mean, didn't they play in the regular season? Was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that was the biggest game too, just because it's those two teams. Even before they make it to Atlanta, I think they played against each other. So, but it is the game of the year for right now. And then once it's Tennessee and Georgia, when you get into November, yeah, that'll be a game of the year. Texas, Georgia, that'll be a game of the year. So usually they have like 4 or 5 games of the year that really end up being games of the year. Big 12 matchup, because you can't get to 0-2 in the Big 12. The idea of maybe there's only one school coming out of that. Oklahoma State at Kansas State. Both teams 3-1, but both teams lost their Big 12 championship. That's a bit of a separator game as far as the Big 12 is concerned. Louisville and Notre Dame, very big game for Notre Dame. They still have a path to the playoff, but they're going to have to win out. Louisville is maybe one of the 2 toughest tests they have left. I guess I'd say Navy could also be a test for Notre Dame, because Navy's put together a pretty good program. But it's a big one for the Fighting Irish, too.
I always say take your money in your right pocket and put it in your left pocket, Phil. But UCF getting 14 points. No, they're giving up 14 points. I was about to say Colorado's going to UCF, and it's UCF. I thought it was they were getting. I was like, that's the best bet of the century. Colorado at UCF. I'll be watching that because of I'll be watching the Arkansas game, but you'll kind of be keeping an eye to see what KJ's doing.
That's a good point. I've been meaning to even just go back and look and see how it is, what it is that he's done. I think he's played fairly well, but let's give a quick check into the record holders' numbers at UCF. 62.7% completion, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 563 yards. He's run for 135 and 1 touchdown. It's KJ Jefferson numbers, pretty much.
Got one of the best running backs in the country, Phil. PJ Harvey. It's RJ Harvey, but I like to call him PJ.
Of course you do. Well, she should have been on the show yesterday with our theme of music.
Hey, we can do it again next week. I didn't even play your girl Annie Clark.
Do we have a theme today, or is it just a Wednesday and it's music therefore?
Yeah, we were just getting down.
Well, we're always getting down, especially when it's Colton, when it's C45 that's running it there. White Sox still haven't set the record for losses in a regular season, and you can thank Andrew Benintendi for that yesterday.
This one's in a fall. Is rounding third, coming home. White Sox with a win in the 10th. Take that, history. Andrew Benintendi delivers once again.
There's an announcer in John Schifrin who obviously hasn't called many wins this season. A walk it off. I'm going to guarantee you I will not sing that to you if Arkansas gets a walk-off hit during the baseball season. No singing on the baseball broadcast, please.
Did you see how cool Johnny Cash got him a statue going up in Arkansas?
Yeah. What was
cool.
that? What was that put out? Did they unveil it last week or earlier this week?
Yeah, I don't know when they did it. I just saw it. So that's you know how the world crumbles, though. I wonder how long it takes before they find something about Johnny Cash, how they, Me Too or whatever. It's like, leave the man alone.
So you get Daisy Bates and Johnny Cash. I don't know if they're side by side, but they are representing Arkansas at the U.S. Capitol. Thanks to every state you get 2 senators and you get 2 statues that you can have at the U.S. Capitol. Some people say the senators and the statues are really difficult to tell apart. Hey, when you're looking for your next side-by-side motorcycle, ATV, or zero-turn mower, don't look any farther than your local Wood Power Sports store. Locations in Harrison, Springdale, Fayetteville, and over 9 brands to choose from. Brands like Yamaha, Suzuki, KTM, and Honda. If you think of it, they've got it at Wood Power Sports. 3 convenient locations also providing outstanding service and parts capability. They even offer deliveries. That's Wood Power Sports, a solid name you can trust. WoodPowersports.com. We'll wrap up halftime right after this quick break.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is halftime.
$7,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to $7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to $6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles. 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey and Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit KevinHickeyLaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Not talk too much about the plan.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley,
96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Looking for dental work in a new place to get your dentistry taken care of? Valley Family Dental used to be Riley Farm Dental. They'll provide general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman Farmer and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice. All patients leave with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time at Valley Family Dental. They're still at 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farm, right off Highway 71 in Fort Smith. You can call for an appointment, 226-3500, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. All right, look like we made it through all of that stuff. And all right, I'll get my eyes on this Giants-Cowboys game tonight. I think I may skip Army and Temple, but because my football-crazed daughter won't miss an NFL game, I think we'll put it on the Prime Video tonight. Should be entertaining. And I don't root for teams in the NFC.
2 top 10 paid quarterbacks.
That's funny to think about with Daniel Jones, isn't it? Oh, my gosh. I didn't even realize that. Can we listen to Daniel Jones again, give you the absolute least convincing answer on getting better about the Cowboys?
I think, I've, played more, seen more, I think, studied and improved. So obviously didn't go great last time, but we're confident. It's a new team. We're a new team. They're a new team, and we're excited for the opportunity.
The only thing I believe that he said there was, that's it. I couldn't believe a single word, but I believe the moan.
There's not 32 NFL quarterbacks. There's a couple imposters out there, and he's one of them.
Oh, I love it. It's like you can hear the wheels turning in his head. There's like, I can't say what I'm thinking. I don't want to say what I'm thinking. We're about to go and the Cowboys have stunk the last 2 weeks. Absolutely stunk. But I think they're going to go out and they're going to destroy the Giants. It's just not a very good team. Even though Malik Neighbors is really
like
good.
Him.
He's good.
Like him. Yep. Some teams out. Would they get him at 8 or something? They some teams. Yeah, I like him.
It's I can't wait to hear his post game interviews. Watch him go out and smoke the Cowboys though, because you never know.
He might have to call Troy Aikman for that number 8.
And we already got a text for the Monday night game. Go Lions!
They put your boy on IR. Ragnow. I saw that today. They're shutting him down for the rest of the year because he had the torn pec. So Frank is done for the year.
Wow, they went from the idea of he'll be day-to-day for right now to out for the rest of the season.
That's what I saw. I mean, that's yeah. So we'll take it. I like to cite my work.
That is tough. Well, halftime back tomorrow. Yeah, the cat will be on the camera tomorrow probably as well. And by the way, appreciate DQ yesterday on Ruskin and Zach talking about her cat. More cat, less Minecraft. Okay. For Matt Jones, for C45, I'm Phil. We appreciate you listening today. That's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.